Hello there, good morning. Welcome to a new English Saturday class. Today is June 1st, 2024. Okay, so today we're going to be working with the following words. Therefore, consequently, and so. We're going to be using these three words expressing cause and effect. Okay, we're going to be expressing cause and effect, but we're going to be using, therefore as, therefore as a transition, also consequently, and we're going to be using working with so as a conjunction. As a conjunction. Yes, it's right here. So we're going to be using so as a conjunction and therefore and consequently as a transition. But with these three words, you're going to be using to express cause and effect, remember. So last weekend in our previous videos, which I haven't uploaded them, sorry. I explained them, the difference between cause and effect, there's always a cause and there's an effect, For example, we use with because, we use the effect, because it didn't study, that's the effect. Therefore, fill the test, this is the effect, What is the cause here in this example? This person didn't study. If you don't study, there's an effect, there are consequences, Okay, so now let's talk about, transitions, let's talk about transitions and conjunction. Okay, so what is a transition? What does a transition? Transition says that it connects ideas between two sentences. Okay, so for example, here we have therefore. So here we have two sentences. All didn't study, he failed the test. Okay, so this is the connector, therefore. So therefore and consequently, also because, are what? Are connecting, these words are connecting two sentences, okay? And it says here is more commonly used in written English, rarely in spoken. And it's true, it's rarely, use these two words in spoken English. It's more common in written and formal written English, okay? So, and these two examples, A and B, they have the same meaning, As a result, these are called, like I said before, transition, okay? So therefore and consequently are transitions. Because right here in this example, in example A, this is an adverb clause. This is an adverb clause. Look at this. This is an adverb clause because he didn't study. This is an adverb clause. It expresses cause and effect too. Yes, it expresses cause and effect. It also expresses, cause and effect. But in this case, we can also use therefore and consequently also to express cause and effect. But in this case, we are using therefore and consequently as transition. Okay. So take a look at this. Let's take a look at the difference between because and therefore and consequently. If we use because in the middle, we don't use a comma. Take a look. We know that if we use because in the middle, we don't use a period. We don't use a comma. No, nothing. We don't use it. So we don't use periods. Okay, and we don't use commas. We don't use periods. We don't use comma, and neither we use semicolons. This is a semicolon. Look, this is a semicolon. No, with because, look, we don't use nothing in the middle. Only if we use because at the beginning, remember. Okay, but in this case, with therefore, we do use a period. Look, we use a period here. And capital letter, the first word, capital letter. Also with consequently, we use a period. So that is kind of the difference, We use, you know, period, we can use comma, and we can also use semicolon. Yes, we can use semicolon. But remember, if we use period, the first letter is capital letter. But if we use comma or semicolon, in this case, we're not going to use capital letter. It's going to be like this. There, give me 1 second. Therefore, we're not going to use capital letter. So we can use either semicolon, right here, semicolon. We can use semicolon, or we can use comma. Let me put it here. We can say therefore with the comma or with the semicolon. You know, either way, it's fine, you know. But also, if, for example, if we use semicolon here, if we use semicolon, so we're gonna have to use a comma after. You're gonna use a comma, as this example right here. So take a look at the examples. So you know, there are many ways to use, you know, this comma or semicolon. And it's the same with consequently, you know, it's the same. So we're gonna be checking this later, no? We're gonna be checking this later. Okay. So that is basically, you know, one of the difference between using because as an adverb clause expressing cause and effect, and therefore and consequently, you know, expressing cause and effect, but this as a transitions. This is the key, transitions, you know, because these transitions connect, you know, they connect in two sentences, you know, but also because it's connecting two sentences. As you can see, if we analyze, if we see because, also because is connecting two sentences. So here's one sentence and the other. But the difference is the punctuation, like I said. We don't use punctuation in the middle. So that is the difference, you know. And it's very important. Oh, yes. Okay, so now let's notice the patterns on punctuation. Let's notice these examples right here. So therefore, okay, we're using here a period and a capital letter, and then what? And then we are using here a comma. Perfect. Or we can also say, okay, look at this example. All didn't study, period. He, comma, therefore, comma. Oh my God, this is too complicated. So don't complicate yourself. Don't worry. Make it the easier way. I know it's complicated. I never write like this. I prefer to write like this. This is my writing style. All didn't study, period, you know, period, therefore, comma, he failed the test. Or you can use the following. You can say the following. Semicolon, this is the way I write. Semicolon, therefore, comma. I prefer this one. I personally, I use this example. You know, all didn't study, semicolon, therefore, comma, he failed the test. Or like D, all didn't study, period, therefore, capital letter, therefore, comma, he failed the test. These two are my favorite. I don't complicate myself, you know, with these two examples. Like, oh, all didn't study, period, he failed the test, comma, therefore. You know, it's rarely seen this, you know. I really have seen this in an essay or in a written, you know, paper. It's really rare, you know. All didn't study, period. All didn't study, he failed the test, therefore. Oh, I don't know. I don't like to write like that. Honestly, like E and F, I don't like it. It is possible grammatically, but personally, I don't like it, you know. So you choose the best way you like. It is possible, it's there, you know. Grammatically, it is passable, it is correct, but it's not my style. It's not my style. This is about writing styles. You know, each person has its style, you know. You know, you don't have to force yourself to write like this. No, it's the way you like it. But you have to write grammatically right. Okay. So a transition occurs in the second of two sentences. Okay, right here. The second, notice the pattern of punctuation table, period, not comma. Yeah, we can use period or comma here. We have the subject, So this is, the patterns, We have many positions like this. And here we have the formulas here, right here are the formulas, okay? Subject, verb, the rest of the sentence. But like I say, don't complicate yourself. Just use them in the middle. Use them in the middle. Consequently, therefore, consequently, use them in the middle. Don't complicate yourself. Okay, let's continue now with so. Like I said before, there are two ways to use so. In this case, we're going to be using so as a conjunction. Later, we're going to be working with so that. And so that is going to be used with adverb clauses, But right here, we're going to be using so as a conjunction. And take a look at this. Look, when we use because, we remember this, we have a main verb and we have a dependent clause. We have a main clause and a dependent clause. And this is very funny. This not funny, but interesting. With other clauses such as this sentence, for example, he didn't study. He failed the test. This is the main sentence. This is the main sentence. This is the dependent sentence. Dependent sentences are not complete sentences. Yeah. But well, this one, yeah, it is complete. He didn't study. Well, what I'm trying to say is that with so, we use two independent clauses, two main clauses. Look, all didn't study is independent and is complete. So he failed the test also. So I was trying to explain, the other way, like there are some sentences which don't have two independent sentences, at the beginning and at the end. And in this case, for example, we do have two independent clauses. So we have two independent clauses because most of the words that introduce adverb clauses, we use them with dependent clauses. And dependent clauses are not independent, Okay, but this is kind of interesting, So here we are using two independent clauses. All didn't study, comma, so he failed the test. Take a look. Okay, so it's come above in written and spoken English. Okay. So now that we have seen, the patterns on punctuation, punctuation patterns, now we're going to do the following. We're going to do the following. We're going to be practicing this sentence right here. We are going to rewrite this sentence using therefore, consequently, and so. Okay. You're going to be doing that. So here's one sentence. The runner can compete in races. That is one sentence. Here's another one. He wears a special blade attached to his knee. Okay, this is the second sentence. So now we have to rewrite these two using therefore. Remember, it's important to which one is the cause and effect. So, is this the cause? Is this the effect? Let's take a look. The runner can compete in races. Or maybe this is the effect and this is the cause. Look, so this person, he wears a special blades attached to his knee. This is and what is the cause? He can compete in races. So now, look at that. He doesn't have one leg, he doesn't have one leg. And since he doesn't have one leg, of course, without the special blade right here attached to his knee, he wouldn't be, he wouldn't compete in any race. But now that he wears a special blade attached to his knee, what is the effect? He can compete in races. So he can compete. Okay, so now let's use it with therefore. Let's make a sentence and let's use it with therefore. Let's use comma or period or anything you guys want. So how do you think it's gonna be? Maybe we can give him a name. Oh, the runner. Let's call him the runner. The runner, look at this. So here's the runner. The runner. What can we say about the runner? Think about it. You tell me, what can we say about the runner? So the runner, runner. What can we say? Think about it. The runner wears a special blade attached to his knee. Look at that. The runner wears a special blade attached to at his knee. At his knee. Hidoki. Give me 1 second. Okay. Semicolon. Semicolon. Therefore, comma. Therefore,